Hello and welcome everyone to the Beacon of Light podcast this evening. As you jump on, we are just so excited to bring you Miss Jennifer Harshman, and we're going to be discussing something tonight that is super important for all of you. And you might notice she has something that's just going to be incredible. And before we start talking to her, we're going to jump into a lot of this. Here we go.
I'm April Tribe Juke. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. I believe we are all made with light, and light is hope. This podcast brings authors who write stories of hope to all of you. Your journey to be inspired and amplified by these stories starts now.
And we're back, and we fixed the audio. All is well now. It was kind of fun to hear the delay. Okay, here we go. So Jennifer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a teacher by trade, a homeschooling mom of 3 special needs kids, and I've been reading and writing since I was 3 years old.
Wow, since you were 3, girl, I would love to go back and read one of those 3-year-old stories. That would be fantastic. So fun. So fun. So you really have a background that you know how to break down a task and help people with that. So I'm just kind of checking out the garb here. I mean, amazing, amazing. So everyone out there, what do you think we are going to be discussing tonight? As you can see running in the ticker underneath, Miss Jennifer has an incredible book called Your Book Bakery. And this is going to be something like almost like a recipe. Well, in fact, she's going to talk a little bit more about everything about it. So you can see the visual right there. She is ready to roll tonight. So Jennifer, how did you come up with this idea in the first place?
Well, I've been helping authors for a really long time, since 1992. And over the years, I helped people write their book as well as edit it for them. And I just came to realize that there are certain replicable processes. There are different ways to go about writing a book, but there are some commonalities. And if you can follow a recipe to bake a cake, then I believe you can follow the process to write a book.
I agree with that because really, where does it start? Like, what's going to happen with this book in the first place? What is a great question to ask any author out there who thinks, I have a story. What do I do first?
The first thing is to decide whom you're helping, how you want to help them, and what you want your book to accomplish. So I think it's in chapter 2 in my book, I list a bunch of questions for the reader to ask themselves, and it will help them to figure out what kind of book they want to bake.
Awesome. And in questioning, oh my goodness, so many answers are found with questions. I know your mind just blew apart right there, right? But sometimes we miss the step of simplicity with questions and what they can do. So, Jennifer, that's so great to hear that in chapter 2, we're getting right to the point of who are you going to help with this book? And so are you specifically talking about fiction, nonfiction? Explain a little bit about that.
This book is about writing a nonfiction book. I do help people with both, though.
Awesome. And what are some similarities and some differences?
So similarities would be there can be a purpose to both a nonfiction and a fiction book. They can help people in various ways. And the big difference between the two is that fiction, of course, is made up stories, and they don't have to necessarily have a purpose. They can just be for fun, whereas nonfiction needs to be factual, and usually it helps someone accomplish something.
Right. And in that accomplishment, if for the person who's writing things down, it's usually something that they discovered, something along a hero's journey to really the degree of that, because as they started in failed and missed and started again and met up with a mentor and then figured out, well, this is the way. And then the real test come. Well, I thought I was tested already. No, sister. Here comes the real stuff. And in all of that, how do you connect with the writer to say, how do you think your reader is going to respond to what you just wrote there?
That is a really good question. And I just ask them flat out. I ask them to put themselves in their reader's shoes. So feel that empathy. And usually that will help them to realize, oh, this does not come across so well. Or, maybe I'm missing something and I need to add more.
Right. And I love you all authors. That's why I brought Jennifer out here tonight, because what Jennifer is saying is, and she's being really nice about it, sometimes you can't smell the flower for the bakery, right? You can't see the forest for the trees because you're so in it. It's smeared all over and you just know it. And unfortunately, your reader's like, wait, what? Give me some background on that. Show me the emotion. Let me empathize with you, right? So there's so many ways that everything can be produced with this. So is your book basically a recipe?
It is. It is.
Awesome.
It
So share what you mean by that.
Okay, so when you think of a recipe, you'll need certain ingredients. So certain things need to go into the book that you're writing, and they need to be put in a certain order, done in a certain way, and then baked. So they have to go through a process.
So in the process of, we'll say, baking, what does that mean for the author?
That means writing their book and sending it through a professional editor before they publish it and put it out to the world.
What? You mean, but my neighbor, she's really good at like her crossword puzzle. So I know she knows lots of vocabulary. So she would totally get the spelling mistake. So like, and then I've got, there's those programs. I'm good. I'm totally good. What do you say to those amazing people?
I say that's a great start, and it's not enough.
Oh, you heard it. You heard it from, the Queen Baker here. It is not enough. So you're telling us it's like baking the cake without adding any of the frostings and the toppings and that. You just have cake, which it is food, and it is sweet, but it's not like you would just serve a 9x13 like yellow cake mix. Right. Or do you want like the wedding cake, like amazing with tears and all of the frosting and fondant and, I don't know, flowers and birds and maybe a squirrel or two on that. I mean, maybe you like an outdoorsy wedding person. Anyway, so is that what you're kind of telling us there, Jennifer?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Awesome. So how did this whole theory come about ping? I think this is like a recipe. Like what got you started with that kind of thing?
It was just the fact that I worked with people over and over. So I have helped hundreds of authors with their books. And after a while of doing something, you start to see patterns. So I started using the metaphor that this is a replicable process, and it's like following a path or following a recipe. So once I started using that terminology, people really understood it. It was just like ping, like totally yes. And so then that grew. And my group coaching program got named Your Book Bakery. And I started a TikTok channel, and I needed a visual element to show people that the content was book related. So I use a whisk. And then a friend said, you've got to have the hat. I need the apron too. Come on, like the whole package. And so the metaphor just came from that. And my group coaching clients asked me to write them a book. And I said, I wrote you a manual. Is that not enough? And they said, no, could you please write us an entire book? So I thought for about 2 seconds and I said yes. So I did.
Awesome. And it is so fun to see you right there. I think just that story. I hope you guys were listening. Okay, let's just break down the facts of the whole story. So Jennifer is chatting with a bunch of people. Yeah, she's kind of coaching them. But anyway, we'll just go with this. She's chatting with a bunch of people. And a bunch of people have a need. And their need, and through that need, Jennifer's like, I bet I could fulfill their need with a book. Anyone seeing a pattern here with our nonfiction writing? First, find out what the need is. And if you have stories and principles and teachings that can match that, you're off and running. Because the group almost requested that. Almost were like, hey, could you just write the book for us? You're like, done. So that ding on the little egg timer. And the idea and the concept is she had an audience that needed help. And as she said at the beginning, you need to help resolve, solve, give a result to someone. And this book, for those people who asked, is that answer. Now, with that being said, could she only service that group? Like, that's it. Nobody else out there wants to write a book, right? So we should just end it right here. We're done. Okay, she's giggling. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say there's many of you out there. And when we were posting this through the different Facebook groups, I saw many people saying, what time will be the broadcast? I need to know more. And so, Jennifer, share with us how you organized the book and maybe a reading level that goes with it, your accessibility to it. We'd love to share even more so that you get more and more of those sales of this book.
Well, thank you. So I walk people through selecting their recipe, determining which type of book they want to write. I give them an overview of the entire process so they have that big picture view. And then this book focuses on writing the first draft.
Wait, there's more than just one draft? Oh, no. Now I'm feeling overwhelmed. Maybe I should stop.
One bite at a time.
Okay. Okay, keep going.
So part 2 of the book is gathering the ingredients. So it's the tools and the information that they will need to write their book. I talk to them about how to set up their kitchen, so to speak, and that's their writing environment and their schedule and all of those things that go into producing the book. And I really stress self-care. So, April, this is so important. When you're writing a book and going through the editing process, it's very draining. It takes a lot of time and energy, and you need to take really good care of yourself. So I stress that a lot.
So what are some ways that they can take care of themselves as they're going through the process?
So getting extra sleep, taking naps whenever they can, getting out into nature, out into the sunlight, yes, taking extra showers or warm baths, drinking hot tea, having a treat here and there. I don't stress a lot of sugary snacks, but once in a while.
I mean, after all, you are a baker, so come on. We got to have a cookie at least one time. At least a shortbread, right? Shortbread has no frosting. Come on, we can handle that, right? Right.
Yeah.
Those are fantastic things. And I think what's interesting is that you talked about sleep, and resting a brain prepares you to open up for more language. As a teacher, so we're talking teacher to teacher, the language structure of writing and of reading causes many areas in your brain to light up at the same time. And it can be really rewarding and exhausting. So to balance that, sleep and good sleep. Everyone has different hours of sleep, right? Some might be satisfied at 5 to 6 hours, others satisfied at 8 to 9. mine is I really discuss the quality of sleep. If you are in sleep and get that REM and have those dreams, you are getting that rest. So don't freak out too much about the timing, or the amount of time or the length.
Mhm.
That's all variables depending on your body, right? Because
Mhm.
this girl works off of 5 hours of sleep, so whatever. But hubby, I love you. I'll shout out my hubby. Hubby's a little jealous because I can just go like that, gone.
Mhm.
I think because you just work through the day and have done so many words and languages all over the place. So my brain is literally like, oh, there's the switch, and I'm out. So I am getting the quality rest.
Good.
Now, that's not a brag. I'm just saying it just depends on your situation. So if you know that best, really, the resting,
Mhm.
it is just so rewarding. And I loved what you said, getting outside into the sunshine,
Mhm.
meaning there's something really clarifying within that idea, because writing is creation. And like any amazing artist, and yes, y'all out there are artists, you're just painting with your words.
Mhm.
Oh, no, I'm just writing a nonfiction. I don't need to paint. I can just tell everybody. Do you want to respond to that?
You are an artist, and I love that you mentioned reward just a moment ago, because that's another thing that I really encourage people to do. And I say, what is fun gets done. So I want to make the whole process an enjoyable process. So I I don't know if you can see these, but this is a roll of stickers. I use stickers. I send them to the people that I'm coaching, and I say, give yourself a reward chart for the days that you do whatever it is on your book. If you have a word count goal and you sit down to write, boom, you get a sticker. If you're doing some research and you put in the time, you get a sticker. You get to do so many cool things while you're writing a book. And the more you enjoy it, the more you'll want to do it.
That is so true. And that reward process, it's truly going to make you grow, because you will not end the way that you started. You will be different. Your
Yes.
growth actually happens. And think about it. All the ingredients you gathered, you didn't make an ingredients pie. You actually went and took it all through a process. And at the end, you have something completely new. And your satisfaction with that, versus just eating like a raw egg and some flour sprinkled into it, right? You have to go through the process and you grow as well.
Mhm.
And then you think about what your readers will do as they read and receive and consume. Their possibilities just open up so great. And we're not just saying that as a platitude. There really, really are ways that can change so many things. So Jennifer, I know this is not your only book. So share with us a little bit about some other books that you've written.
Some of them I've ghostwritten and I've signed NDAs, so I can't tell you titles. I can say I've done just under a dozen in all. And another one that I wrote that I do have my name on is Find a Real Editor, Avoiding the Posers and Scammers.
Wow, really, really direct on that. So look at that. You can go through this recipe and doing that. And she says after that first draft, you're going to be going through many more. So you can pick up her other book to say, okay, how am I going to do this so I'm not getting scammed? So I can put the editing inside and really come out on the other end with the masterpiece that I want. Yeah, fantastic. So what attracted you to the nonfiction group or area?
I had been online working with some people from Dave Ramsey, um, getting out of debt, and I met some friends there. One of them called me one day and she said her boss had given her an assignment to edit a 2-volume book set on the art of the Italian Renaissance. They wanted to publish it in London, so it needed to be done in British style. She did not know British style, and I was commiserating with her. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You really have your work cut out for you. And she said, no, no, no. You have your work cut out for you. And I didn't understand until she said, haven't you been looking for something that you can do at home with your kids and make use of your skills? And she knew that I was an educator. So that was my bright light, my big aha moment. And I had to teach myself British style. And then I edited those books. And that was the beginning of my career as a freelance editor.
Wow. Jump in where it's deep. Let's go for the 2-mile in-depth swim there, girl.
Yes.
Just hop in the sub and off you go. I think many people are like, I'll dip into the swimming pool in the backyard. Okay. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. What is such a fun story about that is, I would say, challenge accepted.
Yes.
And look what happens. So if you really are in need of somebody that can really direct you through the experience that she has, the knowledge that she has, and this book that she has can finally guide you through to that place of a nonfiction writing of a book that's going to help you share the message that you want to the whole world. And I think that is fantastic. So again, her book is called Your Book Bakery, and it's written at a level like, can everybody kind of understand this? Can students get it? Is this kind of in your British writing skills, or share a little bit about that?
Well, most of what I do is American. I just did the British for that set. But with this, being a teacher, I was very cognizant of reading level. And I also wanted to make my book accessible to as many people as possible. And as an editor, I know that most books are written at the 6th grade reading level. So when I looked at the reading level of my manuscript, I just had to make a few changes to bring the reading level down a little. And it's written at the 4th grade reading level. So it's really easy to read, and I think it's a lot of fun. Like, most of the people who have contacted me about it, that's the first thing they say. Your book was so much fun to read, and it makes me feel like I can really do this. And that makes my day, because that's exactly what I intended.
Awesome. Let's give it a whisk. Woohoo! Yes. Whisk that out there. Exactly. The intention. So see, she had a goal, she had a purpose, she had an intention. She knew the audience, and she knew, if I make this fun, I mean, writing a book, you are gathering an average between 35,000 to 80,000 words. Just pick them all up there, put them in order. Oh, wait, not that order. Oh, you forgot comma there, right? So you're putting it all in these orders. And yet to go through with story that allows people to understand what it is that they need, and in a format that's really fun. Okay, so when Jennifer said all that, everyone can see this, Your Book Bakery, right? Who out there can see it? I know people are watching. Okay, what I want you to do is, we will drop the link down below, but I want you to go to Amazon. I want you to get this book, and I want you to leave Jennifer an incredible review. She's just started. This book was released in October. Is that right? Okay, published, released in October. So it is now February. Let's get her up to those 50 reviews, because many people need this. 2023 is the year for all of you. And so go there to that Amazon site, grab the book, Your Book Bakery, read through it, give her an incredible review, so that she then can help impact so many other people in the whole world. So I think that's going to be incredible. So Jennifer, what is it, kind of as we're closing out this evening, that you would like to share with everyone here tonight?
One thing I want to add is there is also a workbook that goes with it. Even though you can write directly in this book, some people wanted more room. So we pulled the questions out and put it into a workbook, and a journal is coming soon as well. And then I just want to encourage people, and what I say all the time is with the right attitude and resources, you can do amazing things. And if you'll choose the first, you'll find the second.
Ooh, say that again, girl.
With the right attitude and resources, you can do amazing things. And if you'll choose the first, you'll find the second.
Awesome. Very, very good. You also have a saying that says, what is fun, fill it in.
What is fun gets done.
Exactly. What is fun gets done. And that is true. We all have a loom that that looms over us, some projects and things that just are like, oh, look over there, I'll do this. Oh, look over there, I'll do this. Why? Because it was more fun to get that done. So with your writing, if you help to make it in that fun zone, because it is a place that's now accessible. You have the recipe right there. And Jennifer has shared that so amazingly in her book, which is Your Book Bakery. And there might be an author on the screen that's in that book too. I'm just saying. Maybe page 200. I don't know. Anyway, just come on in, try it out, and see what's happening. You showed up here because you knew, or you thought, or you had an inkling, or something, told you, inspiration from above. You need to write that book. I need to do it today. So, is that whisper good enough for everybody there? You got it? You got it? I love it. Facebook user says, hey, that's a great nugget. You're going to keep that in your pocket. That is awesome. Very, very good. So thank you, everybody, for coming and being a part of this tonight. And thank you, Jennifer. Again, Jennifer, tell us where we can go out and get your book.
So my book is on Amazon. You can also find me at yourbookbakery.com and on Facebook. And a little bit on TikTok.
Awesome. I signed that wrong. Wait, TikTok. No, I still did it wrong. TikTok. I probably did it wrong again. It's okay. My daughter, she'll fix me. She always looks at me like, really, Mom? Like, I know, I'm trying. Anyway, y'all come on in, grab that book, the Book Bakery. And again, her name is Jennifer Harshman. And I want to see, I'm going to hold some people accountable. Those people who are watching here tonight, go out there and grab that book, get it on Amazon, leave that review. Share with Jennifer, hey, I left your review. Awesome. Let's blow that up to over 50 and see what it can do to help her spread the word and get more of you writing your book today. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see ya.